All right. Today on the Home Pros Radio Show, I'm full of questions. And we're going to hit those questions. Normally, we're answering the questions, but I'm asking them because we have power grid issues in California. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how folks out there are being told to live in their homes. Also, we have a Bank of America with a new mortgage program that everyone's talking about. We're going to explore that in our news desk. Plus, we have a question about a pipe near a water heater. What could it be for? We're going to answer that question. And more questions for you. We're going to ask the plumber. We have Carl Turvo joining us from KT Plumbing. It's all that and more coming up in 1 minute on the Home Pros Radio Show.
The Home Pros Radio Show. Brought to you by Prime Lending. Home loans made simple. Welcome to the Home Pros Radio Show, the premier resource for the well-informed homeowner. With over 30 years of combined home inspection and renovation experience, your hosts, Tommy Donovan and Shane Hips, help you stay on top of your home improvement and home maintenance needs. Visit homeprosradio.com to access the trusted product and service providers that are a part of our Home Pros network. Find the Home Pros Radio Show on Facebook and Twitter for regular show updates and additional information on the topics covered on our show. To join the conversation, call 248-HOME-PROS. And now, your Home Pros, Tommy Donovan and Shane Hips.
And welcome to the Home Pros Radio Show, your source for the advice, tips, and tricks that every homeowner needs to make sure your home is in the best shape possible. I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections.
And I'm Shane Hips with Closing Contractor.
And we're back together here to talk house with you. And we're midway through September, and we're in that funky kind of year where it's hot and then cool and then hot and
Yeah.
cool. We don't know what the weather wants to do.
Yeah, I'm sort of enjoying this in-between stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to it going straight from one to the other and not even having any middle ground. So I'm enjoying it this year.
Unfortunately, we have it easy, unlike some parts of the country, like California, and that's that kind of the topic of our first discussion today.
Is that why they're all moving here?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's other issues.
Well, it's kind of similar. They are all kind of related. We have basically heat waves that California is dealing with.
Gotcha.
And that's affecting how their folks out there who are listening from California are living, how you're living in your homes. I listen to a radio show every day that's on a California radio station.
Okay.
And their news updates, they keep talking about we've got triple digit temperatures, this, that, and the other, and their news guys are constantly going, all right, here's what you have to do to live in your house and ease up on the power grid. Last week we did a news story on how the power grid had some issues. Was it in San Diego or was it? I can't remember what part of California it was, but basically birds.
Yeah,
there was a bird.
I can't think of where it was either. But
there was a transfer station, I think,
yes,
interrupted because a bird got in there and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we're talking about the power grid as a whole. As you folks out there in California, I feel your pain. I hear some of these recommendations, and I'm like, man, these are some things that are
feel like a kid.
Pretty stern stuff to
be
asking for homeowners out there.
Right.
For those of you who are listening out in California, you're very familiar with them, but I figured it'd be interesting to share those. It's the California Independent System Operator, which oversees the state's power grid, just recently issued an emergency alert asking residents to use less power between 4 and 9 p.m. That's when you're home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like when power is being used.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to about the kid. Being a kid, like being told, okay, you can't watch TV at that time or whatever. It's
it's got to be a hard pill to swallow out there.
Yeah. It's like, okay, that is your prime time to do things because you get home from work and you're not in bed yet, and it seems like an odd time to not get to use your power.
So I'd like to know how y'all handle that because, some of the reports I've been hearing on the radio station I listen to, they're talking about like rolling blackouts that happen periodically, up to 2 hours at a time. Can you imagine being in your house?
Is that like a planned blackout?
Well, they're trying to avoid these blackouts from happening. So what they're trying to do is they're imploring
residents
to use less power so you don't lose it completely.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But when that does happen, they're talking about it being like a couple hours at a time. You're going to be, I can't imagine like being at home. I work out of the house, and then all of a sudden, I can't work on home inspection reports or any of that stuff.
Hey, you got a
because there's no
break.
power. Yeah, you got a
2 hour
break, but
break.
I got clients waiting on
I
me to get their
know.
reports to them and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun to not be able to schedule your own break. Have
Yeah.
a forced break.
So Gavin Newsom actually recorded a video
Okay.
as a part of their flexalert.org. It's flexalert.org is where Californians can go online to get recommendations on what to do. Gavin Newsom, the governor, got on and on Twitter and recorded this video. I'm not going to play the video, but I have the audio from it. These are his recommendations.
Okay.
Imagine you living in your house and you're being told to do this.
Now, here's specifically what you can do. In the early morning hours, particularly tomorrow and the next day or so, pre-cool your home. Run your air conditioning earlier in the day when more power is available.
Pre-cool.
We encourage you to close your windows and blinds to keep your home cool as well. And today and tomorrow afternoon, after 4 p.m. in particular, 4 p.m.,
4 to 9.
turn your thermostat up to 78 degrees or higher and avoid, to the extent possible, using any really large appliances.
Really large appliances after 4 p.m. Like
So you
usually
can't
when you're
cook.
cooking
Yeah,
and
like
when
when
you're
you're
using your water heater,
Yes.
you need to take a shower or whatever. I don't know. It's just it seems
I don't know
rough.
how that was working. And
But the thing that I don't get is pre-cool your home.
that was exactly what I was about to say. Pre-cool your home. I don't what do? Try to get it down to 60 degrees so it gradually warms up during the day? I mean, I'm assuming that's
It sounds like he's saying really run your air conditioning in the morning.
Yeah, run it, get
And
it,
if
turn it down as low as you can get it.
if everybody does that, then you run into the same problem. It doesn't solve the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
I
And if
I
you
agree.
pre-cool your home, it's kind of like telling somebody, hey, you want to save money on your energy bills, shut off the vents on half the house and then only run air conditioning if it's all once. It doesn't work that way. That's not how building physics works.
Right.
If you pre-cool your home, you're still going to end up losing that air.
Leave your refrigerator door open.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said that because I was going to do some joke recommendations. Open up your fridge and let that cool air. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
let it circulate through your house.
to me, this sounds like recommendations from people who don't understand
How it works.
how things work.
That's what it sounds like to me too.
Yeah, and I don't know how you guys do it out there in California. We feel your pain. I just want to let you know. I'd like to know how y'all are handling it. Close your windows and blinds to keep your home cool as well. That makes sense. And then here are the recommendations on the screen behind us.
Okay.
But let's see, after 4 p.m., turn your thermostat up to 78. I remember there was what was it? It was a EPA requirement or something that we had seen.
I remember it. Yeah, because we were laughing.
Like, what?
It was like 78.
Crazy.
Yeah. Who does that? That was the recommended temperature to turn it to or something. It's like, okay.
I know. You can do that if you're living in like Alaska or something. Avoid using any large appliances. This is the one thing that I think is funny. Avoid using any large appliances. Well, some of the folks out there, those are out there living in California who love their electric vehicles. Don't be plugging those in either.
Don't plug those in.
Kind of screwed.
That pulls some power.
It does. So
you just got to get up early to plug it in early in the
That's it. Plug in your cars in the morning. There you go. That's it. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, there you go. Flexalert.org is where you can find out more information. I think we have a comment from the
question.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
How do they address this issue overall? Like
moving forward?
Like this is it's not. I mean, it's not just happening this year. It's happened previous years too. Why are they not addressing the actual issue?
And that is that's why we're made of questions today. We'd like to ask anybody who's listening and in the California area especially, we'd love to hear your suggestions.
Yeah.
Because we talk a lot about on home inspections and on the show even, the difference between addressing the symptom versus the source. Right now, they're dealing with addressing the symptoms just to get them through, but it appears as if the folks who are in charge out there aren't addressing the source of their problems.
Correct.
Which is creating energy that is actually,
enough to
to supply one of our most, if not the most populous state in the country. California, gorgeous place to be and live, but if you don't manage your resources like you can, like you should, it doesn't make for a good place to live. If you know what I mean.
Hence, people leaving.
Yeah, yeah. So you're dealing with water shortages. We've been talking about that. One of my favorite quotes I heard on one of my shows that I listened to is, they're talking about how there's water shortages out there, and the response was, "Oh, go figure. You're everyone's moving to the desert and worrying about where their water's coming from." It's if you think about the Hoover Dam. Did we mention this on the show before? You have the Hoover Dam that was built in the 30s,
right.
40s, and nothing's been done with Lake Mead to increase the capacity. In fact, it's going down because the demand increases. It's just like power now,
right?
And it's hard. It's a lot of things to figure out, but it does sound as if we're dealing with trying to solve with symptoms than
yes
the core issues.
Yeah, just take care of the problem now. The symptoms. Let's just get by. Let's get by instead of make it actually work for the long haul.
So what's California going to do about situations like that? And I wonder, do Californians ever ask, why are we the only ones with this issue? We have 49 other states that have it figured out. So something to think about. And we'd love to hear from you on those things. But we have another question before we hit this first break of the show that we want to hit. It's a question that's related to our photo from the field. Here it is.
The photo from the field.
What are you looking at? I know what I'm doing.
Did you see? Question comes from Julie in Greenville. There's a pole in the garage in front of my water heater. Do I need to do something about this?
Nope.
And I think it's funny because it's like you and me, we're like, we know exactly what that is. But then this question to me is a reminder of how, sometimes it's really important for us to focus on the basics, because those of us who do this every day, this is an easy question. But for someone who's buying their only first or second house, they see this pole, and I talked with Julie. She was like, I was wondering, did they start building something and then they stopped? Because it's a metal pole near what? For those of you who can't see it listening to the podcast, it's a metal pole in front of a water heater that's filled with cement. And she was wondering, is this a drain pipe that somehow wasn't connected to something? What do I need to know about it?
Is it supposed to support something? Yeah,
correct. So I explained to her, no, this is what I call a bumper pole. It's also known as several others. Do you call it anything else?
Honestly, I just call it, I don't really have a name for it. I don't.
A bollard post.
Okay.
I have fun going on the internet and finding this stuff
find
out.
all the different words for it.
Because we do this a lot of times in home construction. We'll have like 3 or 4 different names to call something. And you may be calling something a roof jack, and I'm calling it a plumbing vent boot. And
yeah.
People are in the middle going, what are they talking about?
I know I do have a name for this because it's in my software. I have this line item to add this in front of gas appliance and garage.
Yeah.
That's the verbiage. And then I'll fill in whatever the appliance is, whether it's a furnace or a water heater, typically.
Yeah.
But so I know I've got the word in my software, but I don't know what word
it is. I'd love to know what it is.
I'm gonna have to look in.
Another term for it is a bumper stopper that I saw, which makes sense. If you're pulling in your car, it'll stop your bumper from hitting the water heater. So there you go. You see them. The most common places you see them are at gas stations.
Oh yeah,
so people will run their cars into the gas pumps.
Yeah, my guys hit those.
Oh my!
drag the door. It's like that. They had that thing put out there too far. Oh, maybe you were driving too close to it.
They put it in the wrong spot.
they put that
I like that
out too far from the pump. Okay, maybe drive a little bit further away next time. You see, it's funny. You see the yellow scuff all down the side of the vehicle.
Yeah.
I've had it happen.
You have new company colors. It's green, black, and yellow.
Yeah, we'll have to go out there one day
and
take a tour. When all the vehicles are around, we'll have to go out there and look at them and see which ones have the yellow stripe.
There you go. Racing stripes. So you have a bumper pole, bollard post, or a bumper stopper. And other solutions to this, you just have to have some sort of barrier in front of a gas appliance, especially a gas appliance that's in a garage. So you might have I've also seen it where they'll just put those parking lot curbs. I don't know what those are called.
I'd call it a curb.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'm gonna call it, a curb.
And then other times I've even seen it where they'll just they'll frame out a knee wall and put drywall on it or whatever
Right.
around the actual water heater or it's usually a water heater we see.
Yeah.
And that's enough to at least, because no one hopefully is driving full speed into their garage, but it's enough to
at least stop it before it blows up.
My favorite solution that I'll see drivers do is the tennis ball hanging from the ceiling.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been thinking about putting one of those
in your garage, so that when they'll hang it just to that right spot, so when the windshield hits the tennis ball, they know to stop the car.
I've been considering it because when I pull into my garage, I have a golf cart sitting next to it, and I look in my rear view, and what I know I have to be just beyond the golf cart, and I want to stop as far back as I can because my door is in front of my vehicle.
Block your way into the house.
Yes, if I pull up too far, then I'm squeezing through my truck to get in the door.
Yeah.
So I always, and I've really considered putting one of those tennis balls. I was like, you know what? If I put a tennis ball, I would be able to stop at the right place every time. I might have to do it.
There's some people I've even seen do. I don't know how it works. It's like a laser beam kind of thing. Where it's mounted on the ceiling, I think,
and it shoots down.
It shoots down so that when they see the laser beam at a certain part on their hood or something, they know to stop.
Maybe I'm gonna get that kind of stuff.
I've seen those too. There are others that have them. I've seen ones that I'm in so many houses where they have it mounted on the wall, so when you pull your car in, and I guess when the car gets close enough, a light comes on and they know to stop. It's pretty fancy. All kinds of solutions.
I can't wait.
But, code-wise, those aren't required. What you need is a barrier to separate your parking area from your water heater. And that's what that is, Julie from Greenville. We're going to take a quick break on the Home Pros Radio Show. We're going to be talking plumbing when we get back. A couple of weeks, we've been talking about things like manifold plumbing systems, shutoffs on water supply to water heaters and things like that. And we've got the expert on the line here. We're going to get in touch with him. It's Carl Turvo from KT Plumbing after this quick break on the Home Pros Radio Show. If you're a home service provider who takes pride in your work and strives to be recognized as a trustworthy professional in your industry, the Home Pros Radio Show wants to hear from you.
Become a Home Pros Radio Show partner. Send us an email at ask@homeprosradio.com.
Your Home Pros Radio Show Expo listing and your featured appearances on our podcast are just the beginning when it comes to the ways that we can help brand your business on the Home Pros Radio Show.
It's a great opportunity. It's just an email away. ask@homeprosradio.com.
One of the Home Pros Radio Show partners that makes this show possible is Carolina Heating Service. We'd like to invite you to give them a call. They are a near you company. And when your heating and air system breaks down, it usually happens right when you need it, does it not?
Oh, yeah. It's always the worst times.
And that's why Carolina Heating Service came up with the Carolina Comfort Club, where there are two ways to be a member. You have the Comfort Plan and the Comfort Plus Plan. Whichever plan you have, they'll come out to your house at least a couple times a year and make sure everything's running right. At the start of the heating season, at the start of the cooling season, to make sure that you're not hit with any of those inconvenient situations that could pop up with your heating and air system. So give them a call. Here's the number. It's 800-261-0359. You can also find them online at carolinaheating.com. It's Carolina Heating Service. They're a near you company. Thank you for watching the Home Pros Radio Show. And, of course, our show is brought to you from the studios of Prime Lending. It's our Prime Lending studio, right?
They're the big title sponsor.
Yeah, and all of this talk about building and maintaining your home doesn't mean much if you don't have the funding to make it happen. And that's why we like to invite you to call Prime Lending. They got offices all around the country for you, but if you're right here in the South Carolina area, give Mark Hawkins a call. Here's his number. It's 864-349-0160. When it comes to getting the funding you need, Prime Lending makes the process easy and personal. Websites and 800 numbers, man, they can lend you money, but are they going to sit down with you face-to-face and actually give you the products that you need? Because there's so many options.
There's something to be said to be face-to-face with someone instead of just talking to them over the phone or emails or whatever. Yeah, something to be said for that.
Absolutely. So give Prime Lending a call if you're remodeling your home, you're purchasing your dream home, or just need a cash out refinance. That's another option that they can help you out with and sit down with you face-to-face. 864-349-0160. If you're in the upstate South Carolina or South Carolina area, period, give Mark Hawkins a call. And wherever you are in the country, there's a Prime Lending office near you. Of course, with Prime Lending, buying and refinancing your home is simple, fast,
and hassle-free.
That's it. And welcome back to the Home Pros Radio Show. I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections, and I find stuff.
And I'm Shane Hips with Closing Contractor, and I fix stuff.
And we've had to fix something today.
What's that?
Carl Turvo ready to come on, and something came up, and once again, he couldn't make it this week. So maybe we'll try it again next week.
There you go.
Yeah, I know the audience is upset.
Oh.
Okay, all right, calm down. I know you. Okay, good.
Yep.
Yes. So, we're gonna switch gears, change things up, and we're gonna talk about. This actually kind of works out because I've got this next topic that I kind of wanted to discuss.
Okay.
Throw out there for folks. It's been a hot topic on talk radio, news channels, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And it's related to houses, it's related to finances, and it's related to this program out there that Bank of America is proposing.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you haven't heard about it. So
I have not heard about this.
This is an article I pulled off of NPR, which we know how great of a news source NPR is. It's very biased in one direction. And I kind of want to throw it out there just even for our listeners to see what people out there think about this, because so Bank of America has launched this new program.
Okay.
For mortgages. We already know how much of an issue we're dealing with as far as, we're seeing in our own businesses. Businesses slowing down.
Yes.
Mortgage rates are going up. I just had, over this past break, I got a text from a realtor who had to cancel an inspection that she had scheduled and
decided not to buy.
I've unfortunately have seen it more times than I'd like recently.
Right.
And she's like, this never happens. But
yeah,
to her, thankfully, it never happens to her. But I've seen it happen on more than one occasion.
Yes.
So anyway, things are getting tough. Well, Bank of America has launched this program out there for folks that foregoes a down payment on a house and any closing costs.
Okay.
And they're foregoing minimum credit scores. I love it. This is. I was wondering how long it would take.
How long is it going to take? Okay, what's going on here? Okay.
This is where. All right. What do you think about this one?
That's
when.
Sounds like a bad idea.
Sounds like a bad idea. That's right.
So dumb, but I will. I'm
right.
I'm all ears though.
All right. So here we go.
Plus. Yeah, I want to know what other requirements we have.
Foregoes a down payment, closing costs, minimum credit score, and mortgage insurance.
Okay.
His eyes got even wider.
Yeah.
For some first-time home buyers, this is where it gets really,
oh gosh,
sketchy.
Let me guess, it's in certain
areas, as they say, Black and Latino neighborhoods. This is problematic for several reasons. The goal is to bolster home ownership among communities that have historically faced trouble in the real estate market, and particularly help Black and Latino families build wealth over time. I don't know if we're building wealth.
I think we're building debt.
Yeah, it's what it looks like to me.
We're
making it easier
to go into debt.
People who normally wouldn't take on debt to take on debt.
Right.
It almost it looks to me as if we're victimizing people more than we are. Like, I remember when I was in college,
Mm-hmm.
And I had some friends of mine who were like, "Hey, what are you going over? What are you doing over spring break or whatever?" I don't know. I'm gonna go home, visit my family. Oh, we're flying out to so and such and such to do this and that. And I'm like, how can y'all afford it? We're college students. And oh, it's easy. You can get get free miles or free flights if you just apply for those credit cards. You see them over at the student union, and the credit card companies are out there, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember the time I was like, I ain't touching that.
That does sound like such a good idea.
But see, it's almost as, and I was savvy enough at the time to go, you guys, I think, are getting victimized here. I feel like this is the kind of thing here. Oh, this to me reverberates or echoes what I felt like we were seeing in 2006, 2007, 2008.
Yeah, give.
Give what was it? What did we call them? Prime mortgages, subprime
Subprime.
mortgages to people who normally couldn't, and then everything fell out.
Yes.
Did we not learn our lesson?
Mhm.
So of course this is my input. I'll keep reading this article. It's from NPR, and we'll share it. Um, I love this one too. This always gets me with some of these articles. Next sentence says, some experts say it's good to step forward. It's a good step forward, but worry the program will not go far enough to support homeowners after they have purchased a home. So what this reporter is saying that some experts, they never say who the experts are.
Yeah.
They always say some expert. When I was a journalism student, if I pulled this crap, my journalism instructor, my professor would be all up in my business.
Yeah.
Oh, who are those experts?
Who is this
Oh,
expert you speak
where are
of?
those opinions coming from? You've got to cite. I mean, I would be roasted. Even my fellow students would be roasted. But here we are in NPR doing the exact same thing and no one cares. Anyway, some experts say that this is a good step forward, but
Yes.
it doesn't do enough.
Doesn't do enough.
Yeah. To help people.
I think
this risky
that's
proposal.
extremely risky. And here, I'm just wondering what the amount of people that end up getting foreclosed on because they're being given something without, just because you don't have to pay mortgage insurance doesn't lower your mortgage enough to where you can all of a sudden afford that house.
Mhm.
That there's I just don't see how anyone thinks this would work good. I just see it being I see a bunch of foreclosures
I see
happening.
a trap.
Yes, absolutely.
So Samira Payne, director of community revitalization at a group called Building Together. It's a nonprofit group that focuses on safe and healthy housing. She told NPR, "It's not that we just get folks into the home, but we're also able to help them have the savings, the resources necessary to make sure their homes are safe and healthy in the long run." I don't You're assuming a lot here.
Yeah.
Because just because you get somebody into a home doesn't mean it's gonna sustain itself.
Right.
Because there are other requirements of being a homeowner. If you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
There's all kinds of other things. And what happens when they get in this house and they can't afford the power bill, and now they have to condemn the house because it doesn't have power, it doesn't have running water.
Yeah.
What happens then?
Yeah.
What is that given also? I mean, my guess is going to be no.
So here's the eligibility that the Bank of America's program entails. To be eligible for the program, income, home location, and payment history for bills such as rent, phone, utilities, and auto insurance. Let's see, income, home location, and payment history for bills such as, you have to fit into certain categories. So of income, the location of the home, and a payment. You have to have a certain payment history for bills, rent, phone, utilities, and stuff.
Okay.
And you're required to complete a home buyer certification course, which is a good idea.
Mhm.
I've taught those courses before. We've talked about putting together a curriculum for those types of courses.
Yes.
The initiative is taking place in these cities: Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, Miami, specifically in neighborhoods where Black and Latino residents make up the majority of people. Now, this is where it gets sketchy, I think, as far as these types of things.
I've got another question.
Yeah.
And I don't want to turn this into a political show here or anything, but I mean, it's just a question. My question is that all the requirements for owning one of these houses?
Yeah, I guess.
So
to go through this program.
Okay.
I think it at one point said if you have to be a first time home buyer too, right?
I think so. Which makes it even more risky.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Absolutely. I don't know. It just seems like a something that's waiting to implode.
A.J. Barkley, head of neighborhood and community lending for Bank of America, says homeownership strengthens our communities and can help individuals and families to build wealth over time. Not if you can't take care of them.
Right.
And that's what we saw back with the whole subprime mortgage thing. People couldn't take care of their homes.
Correct.
And this is the other thing I saw. They couldn't take care of their homes. Then the bank comes back and says, sorry, you got to move out. You're not paying your bills. So what did they do is when they were foreclosed on, they took everything with them.
Right.
I had to inspect homes that had their cabinets ripped out, their toilets ripped out. They felt entitled as if this stuff is ours. How dare they take it back?
I saw mixing valves missed from the shower. You got to open up the wall to take that thing out. I mean, taking the whole mixing valve out of the showers. That's when I became very knowledgeable about the 203K program.
Yeah.
Because all the houses that were being sold needed a lot of work because of all the things people took with them when they left. It was, yeah.
And see, so their rationale behind this is saying, well, we're going to help Black and Latino people with this. And this is my thing is, do Black and Latino people out there, are you tired of getting talked down to by corporates? White people, things like that. I just feel like this in itself, in an effort to try to come across as not racist or racial, you end up sounding racist, right?
But I think the program itself isn't even like the first time home buyer. They're not even putting an ethnicity to it.
That's why I asked the question that I asked a minute ago. Is that all the requirements? So you could have a white family go in and buy this house in this neighborhood. I mean,
when they're saying that you can, because this is what they end up saying. The racial inequities, this is supposedly supposed to close the gap, the racial gap in home ownership. They say racial inequities in the country's housing system date back to slavery and were reinforced by segregating practices such as redlining, where federal agencies refuse to insure mortgages to people in certain areas. They're telling us this, but don't give us any basis for what this is. The term is associated with Black neighborhoods. Today, many residents of predominantly Black or Hispanic neighborhoods continue to struggle in the housing market because of they're calling them discriminatory practices. This is what I see. I see bad neighborhoods, or I say neighborhoods that are low-income neighborhoods. And I see neighborhoods where people are living there by choice because they're renting. They don't want the responsibility of owning a home. They just want to rent.
Right.
They don't want to have to fix the leaky pipes when they break.
They want to be able to call the landlord and not. Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think this doesn't appear to be an issue with people not qualifying for things. But anyway, they give let's see, more data here. They say in 2020, this is according to the National Association of Realtors. We can see how they can be biased too. In 2020, Black and Hispanic applicants were more likely to be rejected for mortgage loans, while their white or Asian counterparts than their white or Asian counterparts. That's in 2020. They're saying white, Asian, and Hispanic Americans all saw decade-long highs in homeownership rates this year. The rate for Black Americans turned out to be slightly lower in 2020 than in 2010. So those are some of the statistics that they're throwing out there. But I mean, I just don't see that.
It sounds like a bad idea to me. No matter, I don't care who it is borrowing the money. It doesn't matter at all. I think this is an absolute. You're setting people up for failure. In my opinion, that's what's happening.
In an attempt to try to do good, I think you end up doing the opposite.
Mhm.
Let's see. Uh, Jesse Van Toll, the president of the CEO of the National Community Reinvestment Coalition. Here's what he says. Even a 3% down payment on a house is a level of wealth or just spare cash that many families don't have. Well, most families don't have that. People save up for that,
Right.
right?
Yes.
It's not just like people who are buying houses are going, hey, look what I got. I got a down
I
payment
happen to
in
have
my
it in my
back pocket. It's
pocket.
right here.
Mhm.
No, people work toward that. So their solution, and then he says that's disproportionately true for Black and Latino borrowers. That's quite an assumption.
Mhm.
And for someone who's trying not to sound racial,
Yes.
it sounds like somebody's. And then he says eliminating a minimum credit score and examining payment history will help families who have student loan, medical debt, but are generally responsible borrowers, he says. So he's basically going by eliminating minimum. What they're saying is by eliminating all these standards,
Yeah.
we can get more Black and Latino people into homes.
Mhm.
You don't think they can do that on their own if they really wanted a house?
Right.
So that's kind of that's the message I get when I see all of this. It's like it's kind of like uh, I don't know. It's like a backhanded compliment or backhanded kind of
Mhm.
assistance there.
Yeah. I don't know. I just I'm gonna go with I don't agree with this plan, but then again, I don't bank at Bank of America. I don't have anything to do with Bank of America. I used to. I changed that a
We
little
did
bit.
too.
Mhm. So but yeah, so I don't know.
So I like this. Okay, so they have a they recommend that the folks who apply to this program take a homebuyer certification course, which I always think is good for anybody. I used to teach one for the city of Greenville.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
I used to
that's a
do
good thing.
just this,
Mhm.
just helping people. Okay, if you're looking at buying a house, it was just a program set up for first time home buyers so they can kind of know what to expect,
Right.
take on that responsibility. Um, So, we see, we quoted this person earlier in the story. Where is she? Samira Payne, director of community revitalization at Rebuilding Together, is the program. She says first time homebuyer course may help in developing knowledge around saving and maintenance, but we also recognize that there are things that are beyond that initial savings. True,
Mhm.
right? Like unexpected expenses, critical home repairs, disaster recovery,
Yes.
which is homeownership.
And if you can't save up for the down payment, what makes you think you're going to save up for any kind of catastrophe that's going to happen?
Mm-hmm. We talk about most on that topic. One of the most famous people who's known to talk about that topic is Dave Ramsey.
Mhm.
Have that emergency fund set
Yep.
up for these types of situations.
Mhm.
Um, so she added that there needs to be greater investment in targeted neighborhoods, having resources in the community beyond the homes, like community spaces, organizations, and quality schools. Yeah, I've seen that effort happen in our areas. Don't I? It bothers me that they act like this isn't already happening.
Right.
Like there's plenty of low income or poor neighborhoods that I've worked in inspecting houses and such that have covered basketball courts and community centers and all that. And I've been thinking, wow, I wish I had that in my neighborhood growing up. That'd be nice.
Right.
So, but I mean, it's all, I feel like the intent is there. I don't know if this is the solution. So, in other words, it's kind of like what we were talking about previously with the
That's
power
that's
outages.
what I was
We're
sitting here
going
thinking. It's
after
like
the
we do.
symptoms,
There's some similarities to our stories
but there's
today.
what's the source of the issues?
Mhm.
I almost feel like we're regardless, and this is regardless of skin color. This is where we ran into issues with the subprime situation back in the late 2000s. Is that we were trying to get people in homes that didn't necessarily want to be in homes,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Everybody deserves to be a homeowner. Everybody deserves to be a home.
But they've
Everybody
got
should
to
have that.
want it too.
But that was what was being
And I
built
used to get
beat into
so
everybody's head. Everybody should have home ownership. If you don't want to own a house, don't buy a house.
yeah.
If you don't want to have the repairs and everything else that come with home ownership, it's not all, hey, this is my house. I mean, when it's your house, nobody else is taking care of it for you. It is yours.
It's a responsibility.
Anything,
And I have
absolutely.
and that brings up a thing. I probably should save this for another show to go into detail with, but I just recently dealt with a homeowner who was my client. I inspected a house, beautiful home he bought, built probably in 1908,
Mm-hmm.
where we talk about on the show where spanning of joists and spanning of this and that and all the framing issues are not to the standard that they are today. But he moves in, does some remodeling, takes down a ceiling, and finds that there's a joist that was cut at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and it's causing the floor upstairs.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, I gotta fix all this." I went
Mm-hmm.
out and took a look at it for him. I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Shouldn't the seller be responsible? Shouldn't somebody be?" And I'm like, "This is home ownership."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hated to,
Yeah. I mean, it is though.
this is what happens. Sometimes you dig into something, you know it more than anyone else as a contractor. Sometimes you dig into a job and find out, there's more to this than we had anticipated.
Mm-hmm. It happens more often than not, I would say, typically.
So it'll be interesting to see what's going on with this. This has been a hot topic on a lot of shows. Is this a good idea? Is it not? I'd love to know what you guys think out there. I think particularly that this is a recipe for disaster. But regardless of the racial aspect of it, whenever you're trying to give people stuff that they might not necessarily be in the position to have,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of who they are, I think it's just human nature for folks to say, "Hey, thanks."
Yeah.
But if you're not prepared for what do they say?
Like giving a kid a puppy.
Great power.
They
comes
go take
great
the
responsibility.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Like giving a kid a puppy.
Yeah.
I mean, they go take the puppy. But is the puppy gonna be taken care of? I mean, are you gonna have to get rid of the puppy?
Mm-hmm.
It's same type thing. And I'm not comparing anybody to a kid. I'm just saying giving anyone something that they're not necessarily ready for
Yeah.
or absolutely wanting. Yeah, because people are gonna if somebody gives me something, I'm gonna take it.
Mm-hmm.
It's human nature.
Mm-hmm.
So I just see that being
What's going to happen after that?
Yes.
Well, we're going to have to take a quick break. We went long on this segment, but I think it's an important one to discuss. And we'd love to have your input. Oh, by the way, if you would like to provide input, here's the phone number to call our comment line.
It is 248-466-3776.
Or you can shoot us an email at ask@homeprosradio.com. Let us hear from you. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to visit the Home Pros Radio Show news desk. Thanks for watching the Home Pros Radio Show. Shane and I would love to know what you think of the show, so we'd like to invite you to leave us a review.
At the Home Pros Radio Show, it's our goal to keep homeowners entertained, inspired, and informed. So let us know how we're doing.
Your review helps us ensure that we're including the content you want to hear and that we're reaching out to more homeowners just like you.
So click on that review button and tell us what you think.
Your relationship with your home is an emotional one. Your home provides a sense of pride for you and your family. Through ongoing training, past experience, and current technology, RIC Home Inspections can provide you with the most reliable and accurate information available so you can enjoy the rewards of your home ownership. Call RIC Home Inspections at 235-5505 or visit us online at richomeinspections.com. That's 235-5505. RIC Home Inspections. Love where you live.
The Home Pros Radio Show is brought to you in part by Screen Mobile of the Piedmont. Established in 1982, Screen Mobile National has been around that long, and they're the nation's largest screen installation and repair company. They offer many different options for windows, screens, whether it's a corporate location or even a home residential location. They can bring their mobile units out to you and repair your screens, replace them, or even create a whole outdoor environment that you can use to keep the bugs out with their screens.
I've always been impressed with the tent one, the one that keeps your siding from melting or your neighbor's siding from melting.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's saying tint with an I to help cool things down. Yeah, for those of you who are not
from South Carolina.
Exactly, and that'll protect some of your outdoor building products like your siding from melting. That's a good point. I never
it's
even
not
thought
always
about
a
that.
grill. It can be a window.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So give Screen Mobile a call there's a Screenmobile in your area. You can visit them online at screenmobile.com. If you're in the upstate of South Carolina, call Screenmobile of the Piedmont, 864-641-7476. Welcome back to the Home Pros Radio Show. I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections.
And I'm Shane Hips with Closing Contractor.
We're broadcasting from the Prime Lending Studio. We're glad to have you with us, and it's about that time in the show that we visit the Home Pros Radio Show news desk. All right, starting off our stories.
Yes.
What's our first one? Oh, it's that. Okay, cool.
A couple of guys shaking hands.
Yep, that's Bill Gates and some other dude. We're going to find out.
Okay, and some other dude. Okay.
Samsung. Oh, he's the head of Samsung. Samsung and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to develop the concept that may revolutionize the way we live in our homes.
Okay.
It's a new toilet.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, we have a big sigh from our the control room. What's going on back there?
She doesn't like toilets.
No, we've had the same system for how long, and they're gonna. I just question if it's gonna be more mechanical.
This is the cynical Home Pros Radio Show this week, isn't it? We go from power. We have all these great solutions we're trying to figure out, and we're just crapping on all of them, aren't we? All right. So Samsung and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation developed a concept toilet that can manage human waste without relying on the sewage disposal system.
Is it an incinerator?
So I think it kind of, yeah.
That's what I would assume.
Basically what it does is it creates, talking about like trying to get off the grid, trying to make every home's sustain. If you think about the way we are right now, we build homes and we have to be connected to utilities,
right?
Power, sewer, all that stuff. So I think the idea behind this is what can we do to help make our living spaces, our homes, independent of each other.
Okay.
The effort began in 2019 when Samsung Electronics joined the Gates Foundation to try to literally reinvent the toilet by applying new technologies to various prototypes. Samsung announced that Vice Chairman Lee Jae-yong met with, this is the photo behind us, for those of you who are watching on our live feed, Mr. Jae-yong is standing there with Bill Gates, and they discussed the finished product and how to use it. The core technologies developed by Samsung include heat treatment, you're talking about incineration, bioprocessing technologies, which will kill the pathogens from human waste, make the effluent and solids released in the process safe for the environment. The system enables treated water to be fully recycled, solid waste dehydrated, dried, and combusted into ashes, while liquid waste is treated using a biological purification process. This sounds like a complicated toilet.
Yeah, that toilet
with a lot of
doing
things
a lot of stuff.
Break.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Seoul-based Samsung, known for TVs and computer chips, they make everything now. Said it will offer royalty-free licenses to developing nations. This is another one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're a struggling nation, we'll give it to you for free.
Yeah.
But for those of you who are doing well, you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But they say we'll offer royalty-free licenses to developing nations on patents related to the toilet project while pursuing commercialization of the technology in the rest of the world. So the Reinvent the Toilet Challenge is what this is all a part of. It was kicked off in 2011 by the foundation to spur new technologies that could safely and effectively manage human waste.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. All right. So, yeah.
How did outhouses work?
Yeah, that's basically what we did. Outhouses were basically holes.
A big hole. And once it filled up, you go dig you another hole.
And then move your
little shed.
Yeah, pretty much. So, good question. I wonder if they ever lit a match down there to see what would happen.
I'm sure somebody did.
All right. So, well, they were ventilated. That's why they cut a moon in the door. So the gases wouldn't build up.
Yeah, because I'm sure they were airtight other than that moon.
They were very well insulated.
They're stripping, and yeah, I'm sure. If it wasn't for that moon.
They had double paned windows in their outhouses. Oh
Yeah.
my God. All right, next story. This one's a happy story. I like this one. This is cool. So, a Maryland man wins a $325,000 lottery jackpot using a special set of numbers. They were copied from the address of a house that he just walked past with a friend.
Okay.
House numbers. Way to go, Holmes. They're actually helping a guy win the lottery. The 57-year-old Upper Marlboro man told Maryland lottery officials he and a friend were out walking recently when they spotted a house for sale with the address number 10916. It was my friend's exact address, too, the player said, so I knew I had to play those numbers. He figured it was an omen.
Yeah.
So he played the numbers and won.
Hey, good
Isn't
for
that
him.
awesome?
Yep.
He bought 6 $1 tickets and one 50-cent ticket for the Pick 5 drawing. And he checked the numbers and he won. The man won a total of $325,000, but reduced his own prize to $275 by giving one of his $50,000 tickets to his friend. Aw, isn't that nice?
That was nice of him.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke at first, the friend said, and then he gave me one of the tickets to claim for myself. The winner said the plans for their prizes include paying bills, taking a vacation, and inventing a sewerless toilet. Yeah, putting the remainder in savings. So that's a cool story. I love that. Those are cool. All right. So our next story is especially for you, Shane. Our video is not working yet.
Nope.
So last week we were talking about bears and how much fun they are and how they like to hang out in our houses. And then we started the show talking about how hot it is in California. Well, we have a perfect story to end the show with on our news desk here.
Here we go.
Let's see. I'll pull up the text on this one. So, a California man captured video when he looked out a window at his home and spotted a bear taking a swim in his backyard pool, trying to beat the heat. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Mike Emanuel said, yep, he initially thought a person was swimming in his pool behind his Simi Valley home. Second look revealed the mysterious swimmer was a black bear. Emanuel captured video of the bear swim and contacted Simi Valley police. I don't know what the police were. What are they going to do? Arrest him?
Yeah.
I said, he's here in my backyard when they asked me if he'd been drinking. Oh, they asked me if I'd been drinking.
Oh.
He told KTTV. The cops were like, are you okay? Police confirmed the bear sighting was reported Saturday. No further action was taken.
Huh.
So.
Well, that was a cute little bear having a little swim.
So the bears they're active.
It's probably between 4 and 9 o'clock.
This is funny. The Simi Valley Police Department said another report came in. I just got what you said.
I was wondering.
The bear just got home from work. He was trying to cool off. He couldn't turn on his air conditioning.
This was set at 78.
Right. The Simi Valley Police Department said another report came the following day about a bear that wandered into the kitchen of a Simi Valley home. Police said the bear was still inside the home when officers arrived, but ended up wandering out through the back door. It was unclear whether the same bear was responsible for both incidents. Well, they should have checked his ID.
Yeah.
Right. So there we are. Fun stories.
Yes.
Fun stories.
The bears are always good.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're always a good kicker for our show. Here we go for our news update. All right. If you have any news stories to share or anything, feel free to let us know. Shoot us an email, ask@homeprosradio.com. Call our comment line.
It's 248-466-3776.
All right. Time to talk about what we learned today on the show. What did we learn? Well, hey, we learned that the power grid in California is struggling.
Yes.
And we're feeling your pain out there, Californians. If you need to know what you can do to help with the stress of the power grid, first thing you can do is move out of the state. Yeah. Also, you go to flexalert.org for some instructions on what to do. Those, let's see, those instructions include, aren't you glad, folks, if you live elsewhere? Where do they go?
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with these instructions. You got to,
what was it?
Pre-cool your home.
Pre-cool your home
That's
in the
one
morning.
of them.
Yep.
I tell you what, let's hear from the horse's mouth.
Between 4 and 8. Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, where is it? It's not there. It went away. I had Gavin Newsom's quote, but it's not there anymore. So yeah, you want to pre-cool your home, which I'm not really sure if that works.
Right.
Between
4 and 8, you're supposed to turn it to 78 degrees or higher.
Yes, your thermostat.
And you're not supposed to cook between 4 and 8 either. Or not use any of your larger appliances is actually what was
Yeah.
stated. But
Close your windows and blinds to keep your home cool as well. And visit flexalert.org for further information on keeping your rolling blackouts from happening in California.
absolutely.
Also, we talked about the controversial new program from Bank of America where they're trying to apparently step down from their high throne to help the unfortunate,
Yes.
their Black and Latino homeowners. I don't know how effective that's going to be. I think that it's a ruse to make them look less racist, I guess. Are we getting rain?
I think so. It's loud.
Yeah, it's very loud. We have a metal roof here or whatever. So, hey,
So if
listen
y'all hear
to
the
it.
rain,
If
hey,
you're
it's
out there
just
in
us.
California, listen to this. Isn't this nice? Anyway,
That's
so
the
yeah,
sound effect, isn't it? No, I'm
yeah,
just-
I know, right? So, we'll see how well this mortgage program works with Bank of America. If the good intentions are there, I don't know how effective it's going to be. We learned that hey, sometimes if you just take something as simple as a home address number, you can win the lottery. We know that Bill Gates is taking care of the world by working on sewerless toilets.
yes.
I know that we can always trust him to actually set us straight. And then what else? Bears, they like to swim.
Yes.
In California, that's what we can learn from bears. No, all else fails. Your thermostat's too high and you're still hot. Go
Go swim.
hop in somebody's pool,
Absolutely.
even if it's not yours. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week of the Home Pros Radio Show. Thanks for joining us. Next week, we're going to be talking about such things as, selling your house.
Okay.
In this market.
Yeah.
Home upgrades that might not be such a great idea.
Okay. Bad home upgrade.
Bad home upgrades.
Or bad idea.
Yeah, bad ideas. Those are always fun to talk about. Are you adding things to your homes that maybe
You're
aren't
not going
such
to get
a
any
good
money
idea?
back out
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to pinch our pennies these days, especially in this market. So hang in there. We're going to try to help you out. Shoot us an email, ask@homeprosradio.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns you'd like to share. You could also call our comment line. Here it is.
It is 248-466-3776.
In the meantime, like, follow, and share. Help us grow the Home Pros Radio Show community, and we'll catch you next week on the Home Pros Radio Show. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for listening to the Home Pros Radio Show. If you have a question for the Home Pros, visit us online at homeprosradio.com, where you can also catch our podcast episodes and learn more about the topics and guests we bring to you each week. The Home Pros Radio Show is made possible by Prime Lending, RIC Home Inspections, Closing Contractor, Radon Recon, and Carolina Heating Service. If you are a trusted service provider in our area and would like to contribute to the show, send us a message through our Contact Us page at homeprosradio.com. Once again, thanks for listening to the Home Pros Radio Show.